Welcome back to Big Nick's Meats and Treats. Today I'm going to do a marinated and smoked pork tenderloin. Let's get at it. All right, this marinated and smoked pork tenderloin I'm going to do, I bought a 2-pack of these at Costco, and each pack has 2 tenderloins. So you get 4 tenderloins in a 2-pack, 18 bucks. Super good deal. Really, really good and tasty, especially if you marinate them. So I'm going to tear this thing open and we'll get the marinade on. Let's do it. All right, I'm going to start the marinade. I usually do this about 8 hours ahead of time. You can do it as little as 4 hours ahead of time. You can do it 2 days ahead of time. But 8 hours seems to be where I really, really like it. So to start off on the marinade, I'm going to start off with a 1/4 cup of olive oil. 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and I like using the less sodium soy sauce so it's not too salty. And the flavors we get out of this is just fantastic. And then 2 tablespoons of honey. I've been running pretty lucky on this jar of honey here. It hasn't gotten all crystallized yet. Okay, 1 more of those. This has quite a few ingredients, but it really pays off in the end. It's really tasty. All right, nature's sugar right there. All right, 2 tablespoons of honey, and I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard. And then I use 1 tablespoon of ground mustard, stone ground mustard. You can do 2 tablespoons of either one if you want. I've done it both ways. I like a mix. It's pretty good. All right, and now I need, let's see, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. So I'm just going to do 3 teaspoons here. 1, 2, 3. And 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. You can use fresh squeezed lemon if you want. I don't happen to have one handy, so I'm just going to use the jarred stuff. 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, wash your sister sauce. Okay, 1 teaspoon. 1 tablespoon of fresh chopped parsley. I have the Italian flat parsley here, not the curly parsley. I did a little more than a tablespoon because I really like it. And a 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. A 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. I always do equal parts. And then a 1/4 teaspoon of dried chopped up rosemary, or if you have fresh rosemary, you can just do a sprig of rosemary. And then I want to whisk this all together really good, and you have to whisk it pretty hard to get through that honey. And we want to get it all emulsified together. And this amount here will do 2 tenderloins just perfect. So if you're going to do more tenderloins than that, you could double the amounts. All right, I got that whisked up pretty good. Now I'm going to go ahead and put that marinade on the tenderloins, and I'll show you how I do that. All right, to put the marinade on the meat, I'm going to use my vacuum sealer here. So I've already put the tenderloins inside a vacuum seal bag. If you don't have a seal-a-mill or a vacuum sealer, that's fine. You can use probably a 1 gallon or 2 gallon freezer bag. Put the meat in there, put the marinade on there, and dip it into a pan of water to press all the air out, and then zip it. So that'll work too. The seal-a-mill doesn't work as good as a chamber vacuum sealer, but it works pretty good. So I got the meat in there. I'm just gonna put all the marinade in there. And then I'm just gonna work it around in the meat a little bit to make sure that it's on both pieces real good. And then I'm gonna put my seal-a-mill on the moist mode and seal it up. And the seal-a-mill just helps press that marinade into the meat. So it's better than just leaving it in a bowl. It just really puts the flavors down inside the meat. Okay, so now we have it sealed in there. Like I said, it's not quite as good as a vacuum seal chamber, but it works pretty good. And so I'm gonna leave this in the refrigerator now for about 6.5 or 7 hours, and we'll cook it tonight, and we'll see you on the smoker. All right, welcome back. We've had our pork tenderloin in the marinade for about 6 hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it out of the bag. And when I'm getting ready for the smoker, I don't do any additional seasoning or anything on these tenderloins. I just put them right on the rack, right out of the bag. Don't rinse them off or anything like that. Just lay them right on the rack. And I have my smoker warmed up to 325 degrees. I'm using oak today. It's really snowy and has been snowing. I'm gonna put them in at 325 degrees, and I'm going for an internal temperature of 145 degrees. Typically takes about 20 to 30 minutes. We'll see how it goes with the weather out there though. I'll see you at the smoker. All right, like I said, I got the smoker fired up to 325 degrees. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here. Probably 25 to 30 minutes, going for an internal temperature of 145. See you in a bit. All right, we reached our internal temperature of 145 degrees, and I've been letting the tenderloins rest for about 10 minutes, and they look and smell fantastic. I'm gonna go ahead and slice into this. And I'm gonna get in there. I wanna show you how nice and tender and juicy it is. See if you can see the juiciness in there. Super nice and tender and juicy. Cut off a little piece here. The flavor of the soy sauce, the olive oil, all that stuff in there, and all the herbs is so good in there, and it just gets all the way down inside the meat when you let it marinate like that. Really, really good. Great way to add flavor to pork tenderloin. They're super cheap. Anybody can do it. Just takes a little bit of time, pre-planning ahead of time, so you can plan for the marinating process. We'll be doing another video soon. Make sure you tell your friends and family about us. Give us a like and a subscribe. And until I see you next time, watch me work, baby. Watch me work.